YouTube, what is good? This is Jeff Abel, always Abel, back on here for another video, trying to provide a little bit of value for those who are interested. I got a little bit of a full stomach. I just had my breakfast. Usually I film these at night, but I had a little bit of time this morning, so I'm filming right now. And I wanted to just quickly talk about the ability and the power in being able to say no. And not just with yourself, but especially around other people and in certain situations. I can't tell you how many times I've had to start over every time I've set a goal and I've tried sticking to it, and then a couple days later I'm in a situation where I'm either tempted or offered, whether it's food, drugs and alcohol, sex, just things that that I know in my head I need to stay away from. And I've caved so many times in just not being able to say no. And it's just kind of like that, fuck it. All right, fuck it. Like, I'll just start tomorrow. Fuck it. Again, back to the I'll start tomorrow. Now, it is really hard to say no. But once I realize, once you're able to say no, you almost kind of get like a high off it. And then once you realize that you've succeeded in denying whatever the temptation is, you're like, all right, cool. Like, boom, I did it. Like, all right. And you feel good about it. Fuck, I just said no, like, I'm good. And then it becomes easier. Being able to say no and sticking to your guns is, it's almost kind of like the same thing with working out. The more reps, the easier it is, and the stronger that muscle, that mental muscle of saying no, will get. Now, at first, you might realize that you need to keep yourself out of certain situations if you're trying to stop something, whether you're trying to stop eating, whether you're trying to stop smoking or drinking or going out. You might have to avoid certain situations, certain people, and which is fine. It's nothing personal to anybody. A lot of times it's just, sometimes that is what you have to do. And it is okay that certain, in time, there are times, Jesus Christ, can't even talk. There are times where people might not realize or might not understand what you're trying to do. And oftentimes when you say no, if people can't accept that, it's a lot of times because subconsciously they know they should probably be doing the same thing. And they know they're not, which is fine. Like, no judgment. You do, people are going to do what they want to do. But I'm saying for yourself, it is important to be able to just stand your ground and have a backbone and stick to what you say you're going to do. Back to building confidence, sticking to what you say you're going to do, and being able to say no. Now, that also might be a little hard because let's be real. Like, if you're let's say you're trying to lose weight, or you don't want to drink, or you don't want to smoke, or whatever, like, you're not going to be able to stay in your little bubble for the rest of your life. You're going to be around people and events that have junk food. Chances are, if you're out and about networking, or you're just out, like, you're going to be around, let's say you don't want to drink, you're going to be around people who are drinking, you're going to be around people who are smoking, you're going to be around environments where people are just, engaging in activities that maybe you've been telling yourself you don't want to do, but you have to be able to, you're going to be around situations like that. So that's why you have to develop the muscle of saying no. And recently for me, I've been able to conquer that, and it feels great. Like, I almost don't, I feel like I'm able to put myself in, not that I'm actively trying to put myself in situations that are going to set myself up for failure, but I realize that I'm more capable of saying no, which allows me to not be so hesitant to put myself in certain situations where I'm going to be forced to make a decision, yes or no. Should I do this? Should I not? Should I do this or should I not? And for me, for me and for what you guys should need to do is you have to, hopefully you're in your mind, you're thinking that you want to be better. You have this idea of this version of yourself in your head that you want to be this type of person. And I could, for me, I see this version of myself that doesn't do that type of shit. Like, the person that I want to be, finally, it's taken a while, but I want if I can look and daydream, sort, so to speak, of the person that I want to be, what would the best version, the best Jeff that I see myself that I want to be, what would this person be doing, or what would this person not be doing? What would this person look like? So my best version, I look at, I picture it, and I wouldn't be sloppy. I wouldn't be overweight. I would be dressed well. I wouldn't be drinking alcohol. I'd be waking up early. I wouldn't be smoking pot. I wouldn't be chasing around girls. I would attract. I wouldn't be having all this casual sex. There are just certain things that I would do and wouldn't do. So you have to, if you're really serious about it, which I am, you have to just look and see what this person that I want to be, how would this person act? Does this person look like? So you have to, at least for me, I try to remember that every time I'm in a situation where I may have a little bit of temptation. All right, well, there's a bunch of, let's say I'm somewhere where there's a bunch of like junk food and food that I don't really want to eat. And then it's like people will say, oh, eat. No, go ahead. You're fine. Oh, you're fine. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're fine. It's like, nah, dude, like I'm worried about you. Like I appreciate it, but like I'm good. Or if you're around people that are drinking or smoking, nah, it's like, all right, man, I'm good. Like you have to really kind of remember in your mind, like, what are you trying to do? And oftentimes people may not understand that, and that's okay. But the right people will, and that's cool. But you still have to develop that muscle, that mental muscle of being able to say no. And there you go. So I just wanted to jump on here because I was thinking about that. And I hope you guys could get something out of this. And put your best foot forward, make the right choices. Always able. Later.